Peace, 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 beloved family. Greetings, brothers and sisters worldwide. Welcome. Welcome. I'm gonna let the vibe and the word get out for a second before we get off into the topic, but it's gonna be a hot topic this evening. It's gonna be a very necessary topic. Um, Let me know when you in the chat. Show us some fire signs. Let us know when you get up in here. We're going to be talking about a very necessary topic. We're going to be talking about how to protect yourself from this stuff, how to recognize some of this stuff, how to realize that none of this do you need to take as your own fault. We want to start shedding. We want to come on over to the new timeline, right? So we're going to be talking about some things. What's going on? What's going on, Ganja Cat? Salutations. Let's let a couple more people get the notification. Go ahead and drop the soul guidance. What's the word? The tag into the chat if you can, Ganja Cat. If not, I'll take care of it momentarily. Peace, Delia. Greetings. We got a great, fantastic, and wonderful topic this evening. We're going to be talking about why your loved ones, your friends, your family, your lovers, why people turn into enemies. This is a very, very, very powerful topic because you never know who is an agent in your life. You never know, because what is bad for you is often disguised as something good. Right? Because isn't candy sweet? Isn't chocolate delicious? Isn't um donuts, aren't they so wonderful? Right? Yes, let us know when y'all in the chat. And wait till a couple more people get into the chat before I start getting deep into it. Show us some fire signs when you get up in the chat. Greetings, greetings. Let's let some of this internet, some of these waves and these frequencies stabilize. Let's just ask for prayers of protection over this live, prayers of peace and protection over all that join the live. We ask for a covering, right? Um, we ask for any and everybody that comes into this live, into this space, that would hear these words, for maximum prosperity over your life, maximum healing in your life, maximum protection over low vibrating frequencies, false friends, and all of the things that we're going to be talking about this evening. And if you stay to the end of this, I'm actually going to be sharing with you something that will, as kind of what we're talking about, is something to help you lift and grow and come out of certain connections and situationships. I'm actually going to share something with you that's going to be very empowering, something that will allow you to level up. All right. And it's going to be that good. All right. What we got going on here? We got a lot of back and forth. I'm trying to watch the screen as well as talk to. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. We want to let a couple people get the chat. I feel like they playing with my reaches and my pushes, and people aren't getting notified when I'm going live. That's okay. I'm gonna go to Rumble. I'm gonna go to Rumble and take y'all over to Rumble. We're going to go to a platform where people that are actually subscribed to you and are interested in your content will actually be notified, because we don't have people, wanting to play around with the algorithm and stuff. You got your free speech, you got, a lot of things. So there are a lot of other platforms that a lot of creators, including myself, have been exploring and trying to identify with. Big facts. Big facts. All right. So let's go ahead and begin to break this topic down. Now, I want to talk a little bit about why friends, family, lovers, people that you're in relationships, why they ultimately wind up being your enemy. What is the energy behind that? We're going to get off into a little bit of the spiritual reasons why, right? So, this is a spiritual discussion. All right. And if you are a part of my Seed of Light community, you all know what I say when class is in session. That means it's time to take notes. Take out your little handy dandy notebooks and let's get ready to get off into some things that's going to be able to help you. Because if you take notes for things that you watch instead of just being entertained by content, you'll actually be able to get something from it, learn something, retain something, and apply that and make changes in your life. Excuse me. Now, one of the first reasons, I want to give you 5 main reasons why people that you love, whether it be, and we're going to break each one of these categories down. Friends, this is the easiest one. Family, not so easy. Lovers, probably even more difficult because they are all levels of betrayal, but they are distinct levels of betrayal and they definitely hit differently. Okay, they hit differently. A friend betraying you is not like a family member betraying you. A family member betraying you is not like a significant partner betraying you. There are levels to the betrayal and there are levels to the way that these things affect you, not only on an emotional level but on a psychological level. Betrayal can cut so deep that what it does is the experience itself, your thoughts, your memories, your feelings, the patterns that you've picked up over time, they actually begin to rewire your brain, right? And so you begin to think differently, you begin to act differently, and moving forward, this is why oftentimes after a very deep betrayal in a relationship, it is very difficult. You build up almost like a wall, and it's very difficult for people to kind of break through that wall. All right. So we're going to talk about that. Now, one of the first reasons that I have here that people, we'll talk about friends, could be family members too, because not all your family wants you to win, right? But you're born into a particular family 9 times out of 10 for karmic reasons, right? Because there's some lesson that you need to learn, that you chose this particular tribe or this particular group, this bloodline, this lineage to be born into. But then oftentimes when you get here, you grow up, you experience life a little bit, and then guess what? You begin to find a different type of family, right? Different people who share the same ideology, who are on the same path or on the same frequency as yourself. And sometimes these people become family, they often become friends, and sometimes they even become lovers. Now, when we talk about vibrational divergence, that's one of the first reasons. And so those of you that want to write, go ahead and write that down. Vibrational divergence means that as you begin to, first of all, you may start off on the same level. You may have had a friend since childhood, right? You may have had a friend that you all grew up together, right? And then as you begin to gravitate towards this person, there are reasons. There could be trauma bonding, there could be, whatever reason that you all came together. Oftentimes there may be we come together because as human beings we are social. We're social by nature. So there's a craving that we have as human beings to be amongst our kind. Most people, I'll say most human beings, not all, have an innate desire to connect with, share time with, fellowship with, be in communion and correspondence with other human beings, right? Oftentimes, the way that this is done is because of something that you have in common. Oftentimes you become someone's friend or you become close to someone because there's some shared thing that you have in common with this individual. Right now, as you grow or as you heal, or as you begin to define who you are distinctively from that individual, not everybody rises with you at the same time, right? And so sometimes people that are in your life, they don't understand, they don't overstand, they don't even understand why the change. Oh, you've changed. You know, you get the backhanded type of compliments, and you could tell when they're an agent or not, right? Because number one, things begin to start feeling disingenuous, right? You feel this energy coming off the person, and you know, like, yeah, no, this ain't real. Something ain't right, right? Something is not right with the person, with the individual. So as you begin to shift, as you begin to grow, as you begin to heal from the things, or you even begin to start having your own distinct personality. Maybe when you all were very young and you all were very close, you begin to dress like each other. You all love to go to the same places. You love the same type of music. You know, you are almost indistinctive, right? As from each other. When people would see one, they would expect to see the other. Oh, where's your Bopsy twin? Or where's your best friend? Or what? You're not out here with your best friend. So there are oftentimes you become so close to someone that you all are indistinctive from each other. Now, when you begin to develop your distinctive characteristics or your distinctive personality, right? Sometimes people, they don't like that. They don't like that because they feel that, you know, the reason that you're changing is because you feel you're better. You may begin to start having, you know, better ideologies about life. You may want to take your life in a different direction. You might have a difference in the type of music that you like, the different type of fashion that you like anymore that doesn't align with that person any longer. And so now all of a sudden, instead of them seeing that as, you know, hey, we're still two distinct individuals, but we can still come together as one and have fun and grow and have these things in common. You know, people feel a little intimidated by that. They don't like to see you becoming a unique individual. They have become so comfortable in the character that you all have built, this shared unified identity that you all have built as friends, that they don't like it when you want to be different. You know, oftentimes they don't like it when you develop different friendships outside of your friendship with them. If you meet a new friend at work, you start a new job, and you become friends with a young lady or a young brother, you know, at your job, and you've had this friend that you've had forever, and now all of a sudden, who is this? You know, like wait a minute. You're not the only friend that I have in life. You're not the only person that I'm contracted to, you know, be cool with in this lifetime. You're not the only person that I'm obligated to be able to have a connection or a tie with in this lifetime. Oftentimes people don't even want you being friends with somebody else. So there becomes this vibrational divergence that your vibration changes. See, for me, everything is about vibration. Everything is about vibration, right? There's low vibration, there's high vibration, there's mid vibration. Such is true with music, right? You have your lows. We call this in music your lows, your mids, and your highs. Your lows is like that bass, that boom, 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 that thing that captivates you, right? That's your lows, right? And then your mids kind of hit you right here. You know, that might be your high drums, that might be your lyrics. You know, the thing that catches you and holds you might be the lyrics and everything. So that's your mids, and those tones hit you differently, and they hit you in a different place in your body. And then you have your high frequencies that oftentimes they're going to hit you in your head in a song. So when you listen to music, you can hear the different parts of a song where it talks about the lows, the mids, and the highs, right? And so the highs are often like your cymbals, your ting, 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 you know, these things that hit you in your head space, right? Everything is frequency, everything is vibration. So when we talk about energy that we share with other human beings, we're talking about the same things. You got your lows, your mids, and your highs. You got to determine what frequency you're on. So when you start to notice this split and this shift, oftentimes it is because of vibrational divergence. You're moving up, they're staying the same. They don't understand why. And instead of being inspired by the change in you, they become resentful. And this is one way that a friend or a family member can become an enemy. Now, are you with me so far? Are you with me? We only got a few people's not showing salutations. That's all right. We're gonna get it. Take your notes, everybody. Take your notes. All right, now the next reason, and this one will probably make a lot of sense. This one will probably make a lot of sense. There was a saying that I heard a long time ago that said, oftentimes the things that we dislike the most in other people is often a shadow characteristic about ourselves that we haven't addressed yet. Now, I know that sits kind of deeply, right? But oftentimes what you see in someone else, oh, this person is too flirtatious. Oh, I don't like her. She's too flirtatious. But is there an aspect of yourself that's also a little bit flirtatious? And when you see it being displayed in someone else, it's kind of like something that's trying to mirror back to you. Oftentimes, right, when we talk about how people mirror each other, you mirror an aspect of that person that they haven't addressed, and they mirror an aspect of you that you haven't addressed yet. Now, this is where the split comes in, where oftentimes a person that is a friend or family member or someone that you're in love with can become your enemy, is because once you begin to become convicted by whatever that thing that is showing up for you in that mirror, and you begin to do your shadow work. Remember that I said that it is a mirror of the shadow aspect of ourselves that we haven't addressed yet. Now, once whatever epiphany you have in your life and you begin to address this thing, you begin to do the shadow work. Now you no longer mirror each other. So there again, there's a split, there's a divergence. So now, after you've done the shadow work and you see certain characteristics about a person, not only when you see that person, is it distasteful to you, but oftentimes you feel a need and a desire to begin to separate yourself from a person because it becomes internally, spiritually, and energetically uncomfortable for you to be around this individual. Now, heaven forbid you care enough about the person to try to point things out. Now that's going to cause a fight. This is because people don't like to be called out on their mess. How many times have you had a friend? You may have had a friend and you witnessed the way your friend parents her children, for example. Like, she may be the type of person that will open up a can of SpaghettiOs for her children, but any dude that she's dating, she will use the food stamps or her money or whatever it is that she's getting, and she will buy steak and lobster and make the brother baked potatoes, broccoli with cheese, steak medium well. I mean, he gets it all. And you call her out on this and you say, girl, that's not right. That's not right. Why you feeding that man like that? That's not your husband. Aren't those food stamps supposed to be for your children? OMG. Why would you say anything like that? People don't like to be called out on their mess. Now you've created a separation because what you think you're doing because you care, whether it's about your friend or about the children or about whatever, what happens is now they begin to resent you because they're like, who are you? You get food stamps too. Yeah, well, the difference between you and I is that I actually feed my children with those food stamps. See, so now the whole difference in ideology about what is right and what is wrong. When a person don't feel like they're doing anything wrong and you try to tell them that, hey, maybe you could do it a little bit differently, or there could be a better way to go about doing some of the things that you do, now you've created a separation. Now, let me also be very clear about something. When we talk about why some friends family members, or even lovers become enemies? Well, the truth is because they were always from the very beginning sent on assignment. Now, if you all have been with me for many, many years, when I used to work under the Aphrodite Stone avatar, I don't know how many of you remember one of my most popular videos was called Angel or Agent. It was called Angel or Agent. And I broke down in gruesome detail the energetic fluctuations when somebody is an angel in your life or when they are an agent of darkness. So when I say agent, I mean an agent of darkness in your life. Some people were assigned to you from the very beginning because there was a light in you that long before you were even born, the stars, the heavens, and the cosmos knew that you were going to exist one day. The stars and the heaven and the cosmos not only knew that you were going to exist one day, but that you were going to do great and miraculous things, that you were going to bring yet another light into this planet that would illuminate the dark path for others and bring them out of a pit of despair. So because the universe and all the stars and heavens and cosmos knew that you would not only exist, but that you would do great things and shed a light that would illuminate dark paths, well, somebody got to stop you. So what happens? Remember what I said, that oftentimes what looks good isn't good, because isn't candy sweet? Isn't candy sweet? But we know that sugar is one of the most dangerous things on the planet, especially too much of it, especially refined sugar, processed sugar. So you get these unnatural friends that come into your life, these processed lovers that come into your life. They were never intended to be a lover. They were only meant to slow you down from reaching your ori. They were only meant to slow you down from fulfilling your destiny. Now, I think I already spoke about destiny stealers and destiny swappers. I think I spoke on that very briefly in a prior video. But they were never intended to be a vessel of light in your life. So let's be clear on that. You say that's happening to you, Delia? Well, it happens to so many people that it's ridiculous. It happens to so many people that it's ridiculous. You got to recognize. See, my grandmother used to say, try the spirit by the spirit. But most of us, when we meet somebody, that first introduction or that first interaction is carnal, it's physical, it is not spiritual, unless you are a person who is on a path or a journey towards spiritual enlightenment. 9 times out of 10, when you first meet an individual, it's because of that something in common that we bond with on a physical level. You don't look at people and be like, okay, you know what? I'll take your number, but let me take a few days to get back with you, because I got to consult my spirit guides. I got to consult my ancestors. I got to consult the spirit of the Most High to determine, to try the spirit by the spirit, to find out if you are actually someone that's sent to me for good, or if you are someone that has been sent to me to slow me down, to destroy me, to distract me, to keep me from reaching my ori, my destiny, my final destination in life, my purpose, my calling. And sometimes they look so good, don't they? Sometimes they be tall, dark, and handsome, don't they? Or sometimes they be what Umar Johnson say, 5'5" thick in the thigh. Right? Sometimes they are everything that you could have envisioned, but they are a distraction. They are an agent of darkness. But if you are not spiritually attuned and you are not spiritually tapped in, you will be deceived. And deception leads to betrayal. Does it not? Tell me if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I'll click off. Okay. So there's that. I get a little carried away. I want to get back on topic. But y'all know that some of these people were never meant to do you any good, right? It's a similar pattern of darkness that comes disguised in different physical presentations. Okay. The next thing that I want to talk about, one of the next reasons why friends, family members, even lovers wind up betraying you and becoming enemies is because of spiritual contracts, spiritual contractual obligations, right? Two different ways to look at this. Number one, you meet a person, maybe for those of you that believe in past life energies and we've been here before, and that the soul is eternal, spirit never dies, it only changes form, right? So sometimes you may have had past life interactions with a person. You may have had multiple past life interactions with an individual, right? And then you come into this lifetime because in a previous lifetime or in a prior lifetime, that soul contract, it didn't become realized. You came into this reality with unfinished business, so to speak. Right? Now, once you come together with that individual, right? Signs that you will know that the spiritual contractual obligation that you all made to each other has completed itself is because what once felt good doesn't feel good anymore. What once felt comfortable is now uncomfortable. How many of you all have been in a relationship, whether it been with a friend, whether it been with a lover, you've been with this person for such a long time, and then all of a sudden you feel like things start changing, like you don't vibe with each other anymore. Sometimes you go days walking around the house not speaking. You can have friends that once you all talked every day, and then you start noticing that days, weeks even can go by and you all haven't, touched base with one another. Things just start becoming different. That means that the contract has been realized. The contract has been fulfilled. Whatever reason that you all came together in this lifetime, the unfinished business is now finished. And the fact that you're still holding on, life begins to get more difficult. There's always something around the corner to turn you back around when you think you're moving forward, because you're holding on to something that is ended. It's like you trying to, stay inside the bar when they've made the last call for alcohol. Honey, the bar is closed. Go home. Go home. But many of us won't do that because we're alcoholics. We're addicted to the drink. And that's the thing, that oftentimes you're addicted to whatever it is with this friend, or you're addicted to whatever it is with this family member or this lover or whatever it is. And it becomes difficult because it's something that keeps calling you. Even the uncomfortable behaviors, the uncomfortable patterns that you've recognized over a length of time, but there's something that keeps calling you back, something that keeps pulling you back. Well, honey, that's not because you're meant to be with that person and it's meant to hurt, because it's not meant to hurt. Now, pain does come with lessons, right? Because if you didn't have pain, you didn't know what joy was. If you didn't have sickness, you wouldn't know what it felt like to be healed or to be able to have the ability to self-heal. If you didn't have these lower vibrational experiences in life, you wouldn't know what to gauge when you're moving up, when you're learning. So it does serve a lesson. It does serve a purpose, but it's not intended for you to stay in the low frequency, the low vibration, the dirt bags. I call them dirt bags. Everybody have a place. Everybody ain't love and light. Everybody's not a wonderful person. You got some straight dirt bags, soulless individuals walking around here, and they are not like us. They are soulless. They are on assignment. They are walk-ins. Do you believe that there are people that are walking around here that have no soul, but they walk around, they're animated just like you and I? But what's animating them? And if it is not the spirit of the Most High, what is it that animates these people? So these contractual obligations have concluded, right? So you had this contract and it's over. Now, sometime you make a spiritual contract with a person because it's something that you know that you have to learn, something that they have to learn. But once again, once the lesson is learned, that's it. Move on, graduate, elevate. When you hold on, when you linger, that's when things, that energy and that spirit of betrayal can creep in, because now what was once built on a solid foundation, a high frequency, a high value vibration, it begins to diminish. Your time here is done. What you all have to determine is who is in your life for the long haul, who is in your life for a season, and who is in your life just momentarily. I'll give you an example. How many times have you been in line at the grocery store and some stranger just comes up and says something to you, or some stranger just comes up and tells the cashier, "Oh, I got it." If that hasn't happened to you, hold on, get on the right frequency. Things like that will begin to happen to you and for you in life. But how many times has that happened to people, right? That person was meant to be in your life momentarily. A stranger, someone that just for a passing, fleeting moment. That contract was done. That was all they were sent into your life to do, was pay your grocery bill at that time on May the 7th, 2026, and move on, and you never see that individual again. A person that comes into your life for a season. People, I have come into your life as a mentor. You may take a 4-week mentor course with me. You may mentor with me over the course of several months. Some of you have mentored with me over the course of several years. That's a season. Some people have mentored with me over 15 years ago, and I've never seen them again. They've took their, and that was it. I was in their lives for a season. There are people that will come into your life just for a season. Now, what are the seasons? What effect do the seasons have on life on earth? See, the seasons have to rotate, the seasons have to change, because each season is responsible for a particular area of growth in our lives. Just like the 4 seasons, once we can kind of break those down: spring, summer, fall, and winter. See, in the winter time is we kind of we cool it down. We go within. This is the time to spiritually go within. This is why it's cold out. This is why the dark nights are longer, because it's meant to be a time of introspection and reflection. In the fall is when we're supposed to shed things spiritually. Sometimes some people are in your life during a fall season, when it's time for you to start shedding, when your leaves begin to drop, you shaking those leaves from your tree. They've turned colors, meaning what? They've changed. They've changed. And then they fall. Some people come into your life during your summer phase, spiritually, emotionally, metaphysically, the summer phase in your life. Summertime brings a lot of joy. We're outside, we're soaking up the sun. There's always something to do. It's a productive time in our lives most of the time, summertime. Sometimes people are coming in there to bring you that joy, to bring you inspiration, to bring you happiness, to bring you peace. Then there are people that come into your life during the spring phase in your life. They give you ideas, they inspire you, they support you, in your different endeavors and different things. They encourage you. Why? Because all of these things help you to grow. But when it's fall, baby, you got to let them fall. When it's winter, when things die, die down, die out, sometimes it's winter time. Some relationships are in a wintertime phase, but you're still trying to hold on. Let the dead bury the dead, right? So that's when we talk a little bit about contracts. You gotta know when these contracts are over. Hi. Hey Tamar. Ugh. 33. Watch them devils. You see me. Astro Talk TV. Yes, let's get those likes up. Hey, darling. Hey, Julie. Right? So let's talk about another reason why so-called friends, family members, and lovers. And this is the big one. This is the one we've all been waiting for. This is the shoe we all been waiting to drop. Probably the biggest one of all, but I probably should have saved it for last. But jealousy. Jealousy. Jealousy leads to betrayal. Jealousy is like a cancer in the lives of people who are striving towards righteousness. And it's a spirit. I think jealousy is a spirit. When people have the spirit of jealousy, oh my Lord, it will cause them to do some of the most heinous things. Did you know your family members can be jealous of you? Did you know your mama, your children, your cousins, your uncles, your aunts? Did you know that your family members could be just outright jealous of you? We don't even need to. Yeah, we could. We're going to. We're going to touch on the jealousy that comes in friends. But why do friends get jealous when you once were kind of on the same page? Okay, I'll give you a good prime example. Both of you started out in public housing. Both of you started off coming from the rough, the gruff. Single mother home, you know, all of these things, and then something happens and you hit the lottery, or you get your dream job, or you make it big as a musician or an actress, or something that you'd always been wanting to do. Maybe both of you had been wanting to make it big in the music industry, and your friend didn't make it, but you did. Wow. Right? But what I'm describing is, when you first started off on a similar path, or what some would say on the same level as an individual, but something maybe spontaneous or something miraculous happens in your life, and boom, you are catapulted to another level in a very short time, and you didn't even have to work hard to do it. Then you hear this friend or this family member saying, wow, some people should be so lucky. Wow, is that supposed to be a congratulations? Oops, my bad. Sorry for winning. Jealousy. Sometimes people don't even know why they are jealous of you. Have you ever had a friend in your life, brothers and sisters? And I know you have. But have you ever had a friend in your life who, from a materialistic standpoint, may have had way more than you? They got the nice car, you still catching the bus, getting Ubers, and asking them for a ride from time to time. They got a nice house. They got the nice clothes. You know, you over here going to Ross's. They spending, $5,000 pocketbooks, and red bottom shoes, and all of these things. And from a materialistic standpoint, they have way more than you, but they're jealous of you. They are jealous of you. They can't stand it. What can't they stand? They can't stand that when you walk in a room, although you may not have not one gold chain, you might be wearing a little ankh carved out of wood. You don't have any diamonds, but baby, you shine bright like one. They don't understand why people are just magnetized towards you, why people just want to come and talk to you, why both of you all could be standing in the same space and people are going to gravitate towards you and not that person. Listen, they are jealous of you. They can have everything that they need materialistically, get way more money than you, but they are jealous of you. But let me show you this. Let me show you how a true enemy will camouflage what they feel, because they will have that fake support. They will buy you things. Because see, as long as they keep, as long as they can gift you with things, some people call that buying friendship and buying love, right? But as long as they can keep gifting you with things, they keep, their energy is on this stuff. And I've told people that I've loved, when you stop being friends with somebody, get rid of any and everything that they've ever given you. Hello, somebody. I don't care how expensive it is. I don't care how beautiful it is, how much you like it. Because if that person has now become an enemy, anything that is tied to that person that has been, things carry energy as well. And it doesn't matter the spirit in which they gave it to you. If they were deeply kind of secretly jealous of you anyway, but then they give you a gift. How many times have you stopped being friends with someone, stopped hanging out with someone, and all of a sudden your life gets, uh-oh, uh-oh. See, they will camouflage that jealousy, honey. They will fake support you, but then be so envious of you, wishing that you don't make it, because that jealousy is, it breeds bitterness, it breeds resentment, and it will lead to betrayal. They will do things like secretly call social services on you. And this is your best friend. But this is your best friend that called social services on you and tried to get your children taken because you left them in the house alone just long enough to go to work, just to go do your job. But this person is so envious and jealous of you that they have called the people on you. Now that's betrayal. This is your best friend. Your best friend, brothers. Hear me out, dear brothers. This is your best friend that will tell your significant other all the dirt you've been doing in the street. Why? Because they want to crack that. It's betrayal. Your best friend will tell your significant other all the dirt that you've been doing. Whatever happened to honor among thieves? Boys, you down with one another and all of this type of stuff. But then they camouflage this under the guise of, oh man, he ain't right. Sister, you deserve better. You deserve somebody. Who she deserve? You? No loyalty having somebody. Like, I get it. That's cool. That's very mighty white of you, I guess. That's what my grandmother used to say. That's mighty white of you. Right? It's jealousy. Jealous because you got a beautiful woman at home. And it's wrong. It's wrong as two left shoes for you to be out there cheating on your wife, cheating on your woman, and all that. Okay. That's just my opinion. Tomato, tomato. You might be one of those brothers that want the polygamy life. Okay, good for you. But if you're deceiving your woman, that's where the wrong comes in at. So you got a beautiful woman at home. You out here deceiving your woman. You got your little trick on the side of somebody like that. And your homeboy like, man, how he get two bad beings? Two beautiful ladies. He's jealous. He gonna tell on you. He gonna tell the wife and the side chick. He'll try the side chick first because side chicks will fall away a little bit faster than a wife will. But you got some brothers out here, they're gonna tell your wife and your side chick. True story. Because they're jealous. Same with these females, they'll do the same thing. Go back and tell your man how you was, kicking it with so and so and so, how you met up with so and so, went to lunch. Why? Because she's jealous. She wants to be in your place. How many times have you stopped being friends with somebody and all of a sudden word comes through the grapevine? I'm talking about the little birds to be going around chirping, these monitoring spirits. That's a story for another day. How many times have you heard about somebody that you've distanced yourself from and now they have taken on your complete and total identity? They speak like you. They dress like you. They now all of a sudden have all the interests that you have. They want to flip cards. They want to wear a head wrap. They want to walk around talking about peace, peace, and true, true. Because she's jealous. She'll never admit it. He'll never admit it. But jealousy leads to betrayal. And now, because these people oftentimes know your secrets, Bob Marley says, only a friend knows your secrets, so only he could reveal it. Who the cap fits, let them wear it. And that's another thing. Bob Marley said, only a friend knows your secrets, so only he could reveal it. Okay. Say you have a powerful secret, like Samson in my grandmother's Bible. Naughty dreadlock. Samson had his locks. Samson's power, because see, the Philistines couldn't whoop him. Nobody, they was plotting. How could we get Samson? You know. Hey, voila. Me attack the good things them. Voila. Samson's power was in his hair. He wasn't telling. But what had to happen? They had to send an agent. Y'all give it up for Delilah, the first female spy. Give it up for Delilah, the first documented female spy. She's in the Bible. So she come in like a little lover. She come in giving a little bit of Oshun, that sweet thing, that honey. Because that's the only thing that can make Ogun weak is some Oshun. So Delilah goes in, an agent in disguise. She goes in as a love interest. Oh, I love you, Samson. You're so strong. Look at those muscles. Look at those locks. Samson, tell me how you're so strong. Tell me, how come you can't be defeated? Samson, he was trying to hold his own for a minute, but that thing was good. Because as soon as he told his secret, and this is the problem with many of you, as soon as Samson told his secret to the agent, someone that was appearing to be a love interest, someone that was appearing to be a friend, someone that was appearing to be someone that cared about you. Now, Delilah has the secret to Samson's power. Now she about to go run back, tell her people. So the agent in your life, once you start telling the secrets to your sauce, remember, Kentucky Fried Chicken, they wouldn't, for a long time, they didn't tell the secret spices that was in their chicken, because their chicken was tasting different than everybody else's chicken, and it was secret spices, special spices. But Samson told Delilah the secret to his power. And she was able to take and use that information to bring him down. And this is how people, beloved brothers and sisters and brothers, will do you. They will come into your life appearing to be giving you your flowers, appearing to be someone that loves you, appearing to be someone that wants to sit at your feet and learn from you. Some of y'all out there. And then what they do is they want to take what they feel. This is how come you don't cast your pearls before the swine. This is how come you don't tell everything good. Mr. Miyagi didn't teach Daniel's son everything he knew. He told him wax on, wax off. Simple, wax on, wax off. But this is what you do. You talk too much. You talk too much about your dreams and your plans. You sitting back telling your homegirl, "Yeah, girl, I'm about to start me a business, and I'm about to make hair care products, and I'm about to make me some whipped shea butter." Oh my Lord! Next thing you know, because remember, we talking about the friend that has more money than you, but is still jealous of you because they can't understand why you hold such a light. Next thing you know, you sharing your plans and your dreams of starting a shea butter business, a whipped body butter business. And next thing you know, she's all on the Instagram, on the Snapchat, TikTok, and Instagram and everywhere else, showing off her new whipped body butter line. That's betrayal. So what does that mean? You got to stop talking so much, because jealousy leads to betrayal. And a person that will betray you, dare I say they hate you? Let me know if I'm saying something right or if I'm saying something wrong. It's on you all. Let me know. Oh, yes, 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 Astro Talk. Destiny swapping at its finest, for sure. For sure. For sure. And then the last reason, and then I'm going to get off into some ways that you can protect yourself and, different things. The last reason that friends, family, lovers become enemies is spiritual warfare. And I saved this one for last because I felt it was the most important to elaborate on. Spiritual warfare, meaning what? Meaning that, just as I spoke on earlier, sometimes people are an agent, they are a spy, they are a Delilah. Many of you have your own Delilah in your life right now. It could be a Delilah, but it's that spirit of betrayal, right? They were already meant to be an agent. Look at people like Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, any powerful movement. I'm just speaking on some powerful movements that I know. Oftentimes they have to get taken down from the inside out. Such is the case with spiritual warfare. If you're spiritually in tune, your discernment is not going to allow any and everybody to get close to you, isn't it? So a person has to befriend you, fall in love with you, be a family member. And like I said, family members sometimes are the worst ones. Didn't they say Cain killed Abel? That was his brother. I mean, there's stories through our history, all different type of cultures, but we could take it all the way back to my grandmother's Bible. You so jealous of your brother. You got the other brother. He's so jealous of his brother. He stole his birthright. He tricked his own daddy in his dying deathbed and put the hairy arm on and said, "Here, I'm your son that gets the birthright. Rub me, daddy. This is how you know it's me." They lied. That's destiny swapping right there. What you say, Astro Talk TV? That's destiny swapping right there. That's probably one of a biblical account of destiny swapping. You done stole your whole brother's birthright. Lied to your father. You're a liar and you're a deceiver. But most of the time, you're spiritually strong. You're doing your prayers, you're doing your affirmations, you're doing your protection work. So you're not going to let any and everybody just get that close to you. So when you look at a tactic of war, one of the tactics of war is infiltration. These people, these entities, they have to infiltrate your camp some type of way. Ooh, and some of them even pay money. I've had people back when I was doing my thing real tough, coaching and mentoring and doing the readings and everything for everybody. I had people, they would, funny thing about it is I used to have this mentality like that. I would already know that they were an agent, right? And because sometimes these agents, they have money, they pay for all your classes, they come to all your retreats. They sometimes, and see, back in the day, I would know they were an agent and I'd be like, hey, well, I'm protected. You want to keep spending, baby? Come on, spend that bread. Because I always used to tell you all that I would take people's negative energy that they would shoot towards me, and I would spin that like a weaver weaving a cosmic web, and I would turn that into money, abundance, finances. You got to learn to not take everything. People could send to you what they want to send to you. That's a story for another day. They could send to you what they want to send to you, but if it is not in your destiny, if it is not in the creator, the most high's plan for you to have such an experience, you will not experience it. They're going to keep wasting their time, their money, their candles, their chants, and everything else, putting your face and your name on an evil altar. They're going to keep doing these things and nothing's going to happen. They're going to keep getting mad because why is he still rising? Why is he still so successful? Why is what I'm not doing working? Because that person has a divine protection and a divine calling on their life that you will not be able to permeate. Now, another way that we could define the spiritual warfare aspect of it is because sometime as you begin to grow, as you begin to elevate, as you begin to evolve in your own consciousness, your own spirits, your own spiritual guardians, your ancestors, your angels will begin to fight against the illusion that other people are the illusion that other people have created and presented to you in your life, the mask that they are wearing in your life, your spirit guides, your ancestors, the most high, the creator that created you will begin to send beings to fight against the illusion. And then people's masks begin to fall and you begin to see them for who they are. So this is a spiritual warfare because now your spirits will begin to fight against the nonsense. And that's why many of you, another reason why many of you, you're always thinking that somebody did some witchcraft for me, Sister Stone. A name by Auntie, somebody did some this and this and this and this and this and this and that on me. Maybe. Or maybe it's your own spirit guides fighting against, trying to protect you from something that, because you're not all the way tapped in, because your discernment is not fully developed, you can't even see what's coming down the line. You're not a psychic, are you? And even most psychics can't see everything coming. I said it in my book. It's not the cards. Make sure you all get to Amazon and look for my book. It's not in the cards. It's in you. And the very opening line, the forward of my book, speaks about when you look at psychics like Sylvia Brown and Miss Cleo. Psychics, they could see everything that was going on for everybody else, but they couldn't see their own demise coming. You can't see everything that's coming because some things are meant to be hidden from you for a reason until a particular said time. Timing is everything with spirit. So while you thinking somebody's doing the witchcraft, the hoodoo, the voodoo, the black magic, and the harmful, baneful energy that is being sent towards you, sometimes it's not that. Sometimes it's your spirit guides fighting against the illusion, and they don't want you to continue with this person. They don't want you to connect and move forward with this person, because if they can't grow with you, they can't go with you. Now, let's talk a little bit about witchcraft, hoodoo, love spells, destruction spells that people are out here using, so-called in the name of love. They love you. Your family members will put witchcraft on you. Your significant other will do a love spell on you. Somebody that used to be a friend that now hates you and it is now an enemy will do witchcraft on you. We're not going to say, because we know that we living in a world where witchcraft has become a genre now, and so many people are doing it. So many people are doing it. However, so many people are doing it erroneously, because now they're tapping it. Now it's because it's become such an internet trend, and it's become so watered down and diluted that everybody's doing it. People are sharing. Nothing is sacred. And these people shouldn't even be knowing half the stuff they're tapping into. And because I believe that the internet can also be a tool for misguidance on purpose by some of the powers that be, to see the direction and the mindset. See, these people study psychology. You don't. But see, these people study psychology, and the people that create certain platforms, they sit back, they watch what's trending. What are people into? So now they begin to create and push certain narratives. They send out erroneous, false, misleading, and miseducating information about such topics on purpose to lead you down a dark and destructive path. But yes, people will do these things on you because they hate you. A person that does a love spell on you is not doing that because they love you. They're doing it because they hate you and they want to control you. If they love you, they wouldn't mess with your free will. If they love you, they wouldn't mess with your free will. If they loved you, they wouldn't mess with your free will. Such is the case for those of you that do love spells. If you loved somebody, you wouldn't try to mess with their free will. You would wait until the divine, proper love that is meant for you comes into your life. Because when you go around messing with people's free will, you got to understand one or two things. They also have spirit guides. They also have ancestors. They also have protection. Whether you think that they are spiritually in tune, spiritually tapped in or not, just like you have ancestors, they have ancestors too. Just like your ancestors love you, their ancestors love them. Just like you have a spirit that will fight against illusion, they have a spirit that will fight against illusion. And this is why oftentimes, even if your so-called love spells seem to work, oh, sometimes they might work. But ooh, he's nothing like he used to be. He's more violent now. Or she's more crazy now. She tripping because these men out here putting love spells on women too. These friends out here cursing one another because you're so jealous, that your friend has moved on and she don't want to be your friend any longer. He doesn't want to be your friend any longer. And so now you want to go see somebody. Most of you, you're not butting on because you won't do it yourself. You'll go find somebody online to do it. Why won't you do it yourself? And why won't you understand that even if you pay somebody else to do it for you, that the intention is coming from you, the money that you paid is coming from you, baby, and that is currency. And don't you know that even in the space of whether we doing it good or whether we doing something illmatic, the energy that we put out always returns to source. Always. See, you can't trump universal law. You can't override the program that has been in existence before you knew you existed. See, we were born into a program. Your brain runs off of programming. So if your brain detects threats and abandonment and all of these things, some of us as human beings, our brain run off of a negative, outdated, low vibrational program, like an archon type of program that keeps you. Somebody do that. And so you feel that, involving yourself in the low vibrational things, but people that are friends, family members, and lovers. I've known family members to do things like that on each other. Why? You got the same ancestors. What you think they gonna do? You're gonna make the ancestors pick a side where they're surely not gonna choose you because you're fighting against the same bloodline. If you feel like you have to do a root or a spell or a ritual on one of your siblings, it's best you just leave them alone and disconnect, disassociate, go no contact. But to fight against someone in your same bloodline is to fight against yourself. But many people that are out here teaching aren't teaching you that. They're not teaching you the proper way that energy works because they want your money for a spell. Some people will do a spell for anything, but they don't have the integrity to tell you that, okay, I'll take your money and I'll do this, but buyer beware. Because all energy return to sender. Love spells are not guaranteed. If it seems to be working, that's your own kind of psychology, playing with the universe, energy, thought, emotion, and vibrational frequency, the words that may be aligning a certain thing for a certain time, but then once you see it loses power. Why most of the time when you have to get a spell done, you have to come back and keep charging. Yeah, oh, come back again in 3 months. See, because that's a temporary fix, but people are out here doing it on you. You all are doing it on each other. People will do destructive spells. They want to destroy your finances. This is jealousy. All of this stuff stems from jealousy. All of this stuff comes out of spiritual warfare, just as I'm saying. Now, let's talk a little bit about on some ways that you can protect yourself. Because I know that although it happens, we need to protect ourselves. See, the Creator put us out here to know that, yes, we have divine protection available to us, but you have to be in a space in your life to where you allow yourself to be covered. If you continue to contract with low vibrational entities, if you continue to contract with low vibrational frequencies, and then when they begin to flip on you and start whipping your behind, now all of a sudden you want to start calling for something on a higher frequency, but you can't because you're too low. You got to raise your frequency first. You got to start disconnecting yourself from some of these things that keep you in a low frequency, that even make you even reachable to some of that stuff. If you were in a high enough frequency, you're not even on the, you listen. You got to learn how to recreate yourself. You got to learn how to recreate yourself. And oftentimes in recreating yourself, you're going to breed things like jealousy, but the version of yourself that had contracts and agreements with certain people and certain things, that version of yourself doesn't exist anymore. You are constantly, every day, recreating yourself. And if you find that you have desires and dreams and aspirations that are going unrecognized, or they don't seem to be coming into fruition, it means that you're not recreating yourself as fast as time is speeding up. See, we're moving at a terrific time through space. Now, one of the ways to protect yourself from such things is to create your energetic boundaries. Meaning, when you allow people into your life, why don't we put people on a trial period? Right? Even Netflix or Hulu or these people, they'll let you do a 7-day free trial, 30-day free trial. Right? You can do a free trial. Try it before you buy it. Why don't you try these people energetically and spiritually before you buy into the nonsense? Oftentimes you can, because we're lonely, bored. These are all spirits: spirit of loneliness, spirit of boredom. I call these their reasons and their frequencies, but they're also spirits, because it becomes a spirit when you begin to stay in that space or in that mode. It now has formed an identity. So now every time somebody talks to you, ask you how you doing, oh, I'm bored. Oh, I'm this, I'm that. Why don't you try these people before you let them come into your life? You will save yourself a lot of trauma and drama in the long run. And then sometimes even ask the creator, ask the divine, ask your ancestors, your significant spirit guides, ask them to show you what you don't see about an individual, because maybe you don't see it. Maybe he looks so good. Maybe she looks so good that you're blinded by the physical, and this happens. So if you are a person that is on a journey towards spiritual enlightenment, then the truth of the matter is that even if you are just so smitten by what you see, or by that sweet tongue talk that they're doing, you got to pump your brakes for a minute and just go within, ask your spirit guides to show you, give you discernment to see what you don't see about that individual. And once it's revealed to you, don't ignore it. That's the problem, is that you'll see a red flag. We call them red flags. But what it is that spirit will show you something about a person early on, and you'll ignore it. Why? Because he looks good, or she looks good, or he got money, or she got money, or she'll do this, or he'll do that. Not realizing that these are all agents. They oftentimes, when they don't, vibe with you on the same frequency, they are agents. They are, you know, they not like us. You have to set your energetic boundaries. You have to be able to have some sort of a meter or gauge to determine energetically where this person is before you get into, especially a physical relationship with them. Okay, so setting energetic boundaries, giving yourself time to get to know the person from an energetic standpoint, not being so quick, go on dates. You have plenty dates on the phone. Do a Zoom date. I don't have to meet you in person. Let's do a Zoom date. Let's do a video date. You have your meal, I'll have mine. Let's just hee ha ha get to know each other. But we're bored, we're lonely. And again, because we're human and we have a desire for sociability and camaraderie, we allow ourselves some time, and sometimes it can be dangerous. So set your energetic boundaries is one of the ways that you can use to protect yourself. Are you writing your notes, brothers and sisters? Another way is recognizing how us as human beings create cords between each other, energetic cords. Much like a mother has an umbilical cord, and all of you have a, what's the word I'm looking for? You have a navel. You have a navel, which is proof that you were once tethered to another human being. You didn't get here by yourself. Okay, you were once tethered to another human being. And although you're no longer physically tethered to your mother, you are still energetically corded to your mother. Now, there are certain cords that cannot be cut. Hmm? But we develop cords, energetic cords that keep us connected to people, oftentimes even long after you physically separated and disconnected yourself from them. Why does the person keep popping up in your mind? This enemy, this friend who used to be an enemy, this lover who was jealous of you and wanted to ruin your credit before they left you. They wanted to take you down and leave you with nothing before they walked out of your life. They wanted to tell all your friends and family about the horrible person that you were. Cords. Cords. We develop cords long after you've disconnected from the person. And so having this cord awareness and knowing how to release people energetically. Why are you still dreaming about a person that you hadn't been with for 6 years? Why do they still keep popping up in your mind? Because the cord, you're still tethered energetically to that person. So you can't see it, but it's there. So you may need to do some sort of cord cutting visualization where you see that cord dissolving, you know, and energetically release the person. And listen, here's the proper way to release. Oftentimes when we're angry or mad and we separate from a person, we have anger. We have resentment. Oh, they did me so wrong. Oh, he cheated on me. Oh, she spent my whole credit card up and let her kids tear my house up and all of these different things. Don't release the person in anger, because anger, resentment, these are low vibrational anchors, and they will keep you tethered to a person instead of releasing them in peace and not having a low vibrational kind of poison still streaming, pumping through your veins. Let it go. Let it go, but don't let it go in an angry way. Don't let it go in a resentful way. Just let it go. Walk away so that your life can be better. And the third way to protect yourself from such things is to be, when you talk about an anchor, is to be anchored in your personal protection, whatever that looks like for you. If it looks like praying every day, if it looks like saying your affirmations, your orikis, your quoting your odus, if it looks like, doing your mantras, right? Your meditations, your spiritual baths, cleansing your aura every now and then, burning some sage across, your space and your home, clearing your aura, doing things that make you feel good. Also, this is another kind of underrated form of protection, is just pure bliss, joy, and happiness. Do you know that if you are in a frequency, vibration, or feeling of happiness most of the day long and peace most of the day long, do you know negative vibes, they can't even touch you because it can't, you're not on the same frequency. It won't, it's just hit or miss. It's going to be miss. If you're in a higher frequency, it's always going to be miss. So you have to do everything that you can do. And I know it's hard sometimes, especially when you're looking at life square in the face and it's showing you something low vibration and low frequency. You know, Ningba, how do I stay high vibration? I get it. I get it. Of course, we're always giving people the benefit of the doubt. We're always giving people the benefit of the doubt. Yeah. Astro Talk said, keep your spiritual hands to yourself. Keep your spiritual hands to yourself. Right. And then you could do techniques like, how when you have a cell phone and you no longer want to communicate with somebody, you block them and you delete their number. That's another technique, that one of the techniques that I used to teach my students is you just spiritually block the person. Spiritually block communication. And remember, reinventing yourself is so powerful. It's so powerful because once you reinvent yourself, that old version of yourself that people relate to, that people want to send a negative energy to, that version doesn't exist. So it's like a shell that they are communicating with. They think that they are communicating with the real you, but it's not you. It is an avatar that you've created, and it's an avatar that you no longer inhabit. Recreate yourself, become somebody different, become somebody new, become somebody high vibrational, right? And you don't have to deal with a lot of that stuff, right? Wait a minute. 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 Why is it not? Okay. Okay. Hold on. Let me go over here. I want to do something for y'all before I get out of here. Any questions though before we any questions, any comments, anything anybody want to share? Because I know what I'm saying is true, right? Friends, family, lovers, just to kind of bring this home, people will turn into enemies. People that once loved you we'll turn into enemies. We went over our reasons why. We can recap if y'all want to. You should have been taking notes, but we can recap for those of you that joined late. I talked about vibrational divergence. When you begin to um, shift in your frequency and you begin to heal and you begin to grow, and all of these things, the person just, they just can't keep up with where you are. So there's that shift in vibration that you all are no longer touching and agreeing. The other reason was the fact that we mirror each other sometime, right? Sometimes the things that we dislike most about a person are the things that are within us that we need to work on. So we'll go through this cycle of change and exchange with that individual until somebody gets the memo. Wait a minute. Let me check myself. Let me do my shadow work. Now, when you begun to do your shadow work, it's almost as though you've shattered that mirror. Now they can't see themselves in you any longer. Hello, somebody. They can't see themselves in you any longer. And the only thing they're stuck left, they're holding are the broken pieces. And that infuriates people because now they can't identify with you and the character that you become, the being that you become, the person that you become, they can no longer identify with. Spiritual contract being done. It's done. It's done. You've had a spiritual contract with this individual and it started off good, but now once that contract has been fulfilled, now things begin to change, energies begin to shift, things begin to be, just so weird. So weird that you can no longer even stay on the same page with the person, and now it's time to move on. Because the longer you stay tied to an individual where the spiritual contract has been completed and fulfilled, now you're going to make things difficult and uncomfortable for yourself. The next thing that we talked about was jealousy. Why do friends, family, and lovers wind up becoming your enemy? Because they are jealous of you. People, listen, this has been happening to me in my life for like the longest period of time. I could never understand it. And I was talking to my mom recently, and she was saying, and my grandma also, rest in power, used to suffer with the same thing. Like people would be, sometimes that jealous spirit attaches to families, meaning that people was jealous of your grandma, they was jealous of your mama, they jealous of you, they're jealous of your children, because that is a spirit, that spirit of jealousy. I've had this happening to me. The people that say they love me, people that are in my life, so-called friends and family, do you know that all of the work that I've been doing for years, and they do say that a prophet is never recognized in her own home, right? And home, by home, I mean home being, home is not a place to me. Home is a space. It's a mental space, it's an emotional space, it's a spiritual space. So, you know, people who say they love you, all the work that I've done over the years, you know, people, they won't support you. They give me that fake support, but they won't buy my products. They won't book a session, but they'll expect that I'll stay on the phone with them for 3 hours and listen to them venting about their lives when they know that this is what I do for a living and I'm tired. By the time I've talked to 6 people a day for 5 days a week, trying to spiritually help them come out of whatever they're in, and then you're my friend or you're my cousin, and now I got to sit on the phone with you for 3 hours and have you dumping all your spiritual toxicity on me for the free. That's not support. Or they'll see a product that I've had or something. They won't support me, but they'll go see somebody else doing the same exact thing and they'll spend their money and they'll support that person. How many of you have had that happen to you in your life? I know I'm not alone. I know I'm not by myself. Jealous. They love you and they support you until you start doing better than them. Until you start having people all over the world contacting you and wanting to lift you up and wanting to be a part of a community because they see the light in you, because they see the work that you're doing, because you've been putting in work. And somebody else who don't understand all the work that you've put in, they just see the result and they're jealous of the result. But they don't know that back in the day, I was doing like readings for $25 when I was just starting out with a Rider Waite deck before I went on to make 16 decks of my own. They see the result and they're jealous of the result, but they couldn't even stand 10 minutes of your shoes with everything that you've had to endure. All the spiritual toxicity that's been dumped on me over the years. All of the clients who were coming as agents, but coming as all of the things. But then there was so much good on the other hand of that. They see the result and they're jealous of the result, but they can't walk the walk that you walk to get there. But they'll support somebody else that's doing the same thing. They'll sit back and send you somebody else's video, but they won't watch yours. And I tell people all the time, please don't send me other people's videos, because when it comes to other content creators in the spiritual space, I don't watch other people's videos. And I don't do that being mean or that I'm better than anybody. I like to stay in my own spiritual lane. I like to get my own spiritual downloads. And it just so happens oftentimes that people will speak and they'll be speaking on a similar content because downloads are for everybody. It's just, are you on the frequency to tap in to get it? We can both get the same download way across the world somewhere, right? We can receive the same download. It's not my idea and it's not your idea. It's something that existed because there's nothing new under the sun. So all of these ideas exist within this field. This field of knowing, this consciousness all around us is consciousness, right? So I don't claim particular ideas. Some ideas come from us and some ideas come to us. You'll know the difference, but people won't support you, but they'll go and support a stranger doing the exact same thing that you do. That's jealousy. They may not consider themselves to be jealous, but it's jealousy because they don't want to see you win. Right? Right? Oh yeah, family definitely. Well, I don't know. One of my biological sisters, she has, come on from time to time, and she's bought when I was doing the spiritual protection dolls. My sister, like I will say that some, not, but definitely not all my family. Definitely not all my family. And I've got people, they'll go and get readings from somebody else and then come back and want me to verify the reading that they paid for somebody else. You want me to come back and verify somebody else's reading? Beat it. Put an egg in your shoe and beat it. I'm not that dopey. I'm not that Sevendorf. I might be sleepy, but I'm not dopey. Okay, let me see how I want to do that. Okay. Before I get out of here, I just want to share one more time. For those of you that don't know, this is our new spiritual companion, my new spiritual companion at the Seed of Light Unity Temple, called Soul Guidance Online. Make sure you check the link in the description. And also one of my moderators, I believe Ganja Cat, dropped it into the chat. So this Seed of Light altar, you can come here for free and you can get you one card. One card. One thing, Tony. You can get you one card a day. You have to click on the Oracle. right? And you could click on the oracle and you can ask your question. And for my people that are my Spanish speaking people, I have it in Spanish here. You can see some French here because I got a couple of clients that are from France, and I wanted to include all my people. So you can get your stuff in French, you can get it in Spanish, you can get it in English. You can click the button to hear it spoken and it will speak to you, but you can come and get your reading, your one card. Now, if you choose, and it's no pressure, but I would appreciate it if you do, because your subscriptions will help keep this platform going. And I basically did a brain dump into this program. Everything that I've ever taught, everything that I've ever learned, well, most things that I've ever learned, I put into this program, right? And there are tiers. You can have guided reflections and you can have the deep spiritual insight. Okay. Whereas you can get it deep. And there are different rooms. The altar is the front page. We call that the altar. You can go into the 2-hour room. The 2-hour room is just where you want to just get guidance, just like you sitting back, you asking a guide a question. Not necessarily any cards are being pulled, because that's reserved for the oracle room. Now, if you upgrade, you can definitely have more than one card pulled, right? But if you upgrade, you can get pulled from tarot, my ancestor oracle, my love and relationship oracle. You can get a 3-card, 5-card, or you can get a spread. That's the oracle, right? You can get your cards pulled, right? Now, if you want to go and interpret your dreams, there's the room called Three Springs. Bring your dream here. Type it in, just like your dream journal. Okay. And I will, through my program, interpret this dream for you. Okay. Using what? I programmed it with popular cultural dream symbols from across the world, not just Western dream symbolization. Because watch this. A lot of people say when they dream about fish, somebody is pregnant. Well, guess what? When some people dream about somebody being pregnant, somebody's pregnant. The fish and the pregnancy is not a correlation in all cultures. So I wanted to be very careful to bring in dream symbolism from all different type of cultures. Again, go into the description of this video, click the link that says soul guidance, not the StreamYard link, but the soul guidance link, and you can come and have your dreams interpreted. Now, say you want to go into click on the ancestors room, and let's say I wanted to put this in Spanish. Now it says ancestros. Let's say I want to put it in French. Ancestres. That's French. Ancestros. Did I say that right? My French people, y'all get me right. Ancestros. Tres. It sounds a little bit like Spanish, but you can get it and you can see it in French for you. But I'm going to go back to English. I speak fluent English. So you could bring your intention, to the altar, ask questions about, anything that you would want to ask the ancestors, anything you would want to know about ancestral venerations, anything like that. So basically, this is more like a portal for your ancestors. Now, this is the house of spirits. You want to click on this one. This is the house of spirits. What tradition, teaching, prayer, or spirit are you drawn to today? So you can Orisha, Loa, Netaru, all different spirits from across the different cultures, across the diaspora, right? You can come in and get information. Now, you cannot get an Ifa reading in here. You cannot get a Vodun reading. You can't get anything like that in here, because I built this program with so much integrity, and I wanted to have so much integrity that we have to respect certain things as being sacred. If anybody tries to offer you a ritual online or, any of that type of stuff, I don't personally subscribe to that. Certain things are sacred, certain things are spiritual, certain things are reserved for one-on-one, face-to-face, or at least something that is done in physical. So you will not be able to get anything like that here, but you can get any information on any of these spirits. You can go in, you can even ask it, what spirit and what African tradition could possibly be sensed around me at this time. Okay, y'all want to see a little show of how it goes? Let me show you. Let me ask it. Let me ask. I'm gonna say what. I'm gonna say what Orisha is around me currently. Okay, I'm gonna pose it as a question. I'm gonna click on that, and you see now Breathe in, hold out. I got it to where you got to do a little breathing exercise. Let's get that breathing exercise. Breathe, ground yourself for a minute, right? What Arisha is around me currently. Okay. Now, it says, beloved, I feel strong energy around you, and it's calling forth the presence of Oshun, the goddess of love, beauty, and rivers. She's about nurturing your self worth and embracing the sweetness of life. Oshun flows with grace and creativity, reminding you to look within and recognize your own beauty and gifts. Right now, in this waning gibbous phase, it's a perfect time for reflection and release. Let go of any doubts that dim your light. See, funny enough, I was just teaching on this. Like, you got to let go of people that want to dim your light and invite in that sweet energy of self acceptance. She whispers that you deserve joy, love, and to be seen for who you are. So take a moment to connect with her. Sit by flowing water if you can, or simply visualize that golden flowing river of love wrapping around you. If you want to dive deeper into understanding how she's influencing your path, step into the ancestors room and let your people pour into you. Blessings to you, dear one. I got to go in and change some stuff. I want to say once again, thank you to my beta testers who tested this for me, who gave me their feedback and let me know the things that I need to change. And there's one more thing that I need to change, because when I was programming it, I wanted to program it like it was me speaking. And so one of the male testers hit me back and said, okay, here's something we need to fix, Ningba. The program just called me sis, and I was like, oh snap, okay, yeah, I got to remember, not all women are going to be using the program, so I'm going to go in and change that, so where you're not being called sis if you're a brother. But all of this is in the building, and this is why I want you all to go and try it out. Let me know what you think. Yes, you can go get your free one card a day, but for $9.99 a month, you could go in, you can get some deep insight, you could level up to the next tier and go even deeper. Try it around, try it out for a month, see how you like it, right? Let's go into the Christ consciousness room. Let's just say, what teaching, scripture, or question of Christ are you sitting with today? Now, I'm going to say, let me ask a question. Was Christ truly born of a virgin? Now, we got to be careful, because some things teeter-totter on people's belief. I don't mess with people's belief. All right. We ask the question, we breathe in, we hold, we ground ourselves. I just want you to breathe in, ground yourself for a minute before you get the answer. Now, was Christ truly born of a virgin? Dear one, that question's been swirling around for centuries, hasn't it? The idea of Christ being born of a virgin is a cornerstone in many faith traditions, and it's rooted in prophecies from the Hebrew scriptures, particularly in Isaiah 7:14. It speaks of a virgin giving birth to a son called Emmanuel. Holy Emmanuel Ali Selassie, Jah Rastafari, right? Now, whether that happened literally or serves as a deeper symbol of divine intervention and the sacred nature of Yeshua's mission is something believers reflect on deeply. For some, the virgin birth speaks to the miracle of his coming into a world that needed a savior, emphasizing his divine nature. For others, it might be viewed more metaphorically, highlighting how God can bring forth life and hope in unexpected ways. Ultimately, what matters most is the love and teachings of Christ that continue to inspire hearts today. Focus on how his message resonates within you and let that be your guiding light. If that stirs something deeper, consider stepping into the ancestors room. I'm just going to keep having y'all step into the ancestors room, because I'm going to keep leading you back to the ancestors. But you see how each room has its, and I was very careful. I'm not going to lean particularly towards one static belief or another, because I believe that you have the right to believe how you want to believe, and you have the right to explore it and ask questions and get an answer that makes sense, not just an answer that is rooted in a belief. You got to be able to discern for yourself and accept which truth for yourself you find to be true, right? Let's say you want to go into the mothership. Let's say you want to go into the mothership. All right, let me ask a mothership question. Okay, what can you tell me about the tree of life, right? I call this kind of like high vibrational teaching. So the mothership is a room for all high vibrational teachings. Okay. Cosmic intelligence, sacred geometry, star families, light body awareness, frequency. Okay. Once again, we're going to breathe in. We're going to ground ourselves. We're going to breathe in. We're going to ground ourselves. Right. Now, what can you tell me about the tree of life? Beloved, the tree of life stands as a powerful symbol across many cultures, connecting us deeply to our roots in the universe. It represents growth, strength, and the interconnectedness of all life. Its branches reach toward the heavens, reminding us of our aspirations and divine potential, while its roots dig deep into the earth, grounding us in our ancestral wisdom. In many traditions, this tree signifies the journey of the soul, how we branch out, face challenges, and ultimately bear fruit through our experiences. Each leaf can represent a lesson learned, a person we've loved, or a moment that shaped who we are. As we're under the waning gibbous, now's the time to reflect and release what no longer serves you, nurturing the seeds of new growth. Embrace this moment to tune into your own tree of life. What roots are you nourishing and what branches are calling for your attention? All right. If you feel called to go into your ancestor, go into the ancestor room. I'm gonna keep leading you back to the ancestor room, right? Because the ancestors is where we get it done. All right. So again, the altar is your first page. You come on the first page and you're going to get a whisper. Your whisper is going to be, and everybody's whisper is different. And I tested this across my beta testers and asked them, to screenshot me the whispers that they got each day so that we can make sure that everything is working smoothly within the program, right? So you get your inspirational or encouraging message, motivational message every day. You get to see what phase of the moon we're in right now, right? And you can go in a 2-hour room. Each room has its distinct flavor. Each room has its distinct function. And I want to go ahead and say that I'm very grateful to probably have the first. I don't know. Y'all got to, find something. If something else is out there, then I'm not the first. But as far as I know, until I figure differently or hear differently, this is the first site of its kind. Yes, there are sites that will do card readings for you. Yes, there are sites that will do astrology for you. Yes, there are sites that will do destiny number readings for you. But in my site, because all of these things are things that I've covered in my teachings over the last 2 decades, I've pretty much programmed everything that I've ever taught into this program. So you're going to be able to get it all in one place. And that's by design. All right. You scroll down, you have your privacy policy. I don't share your information. I don't know what you ask the program. I fixed it like that so I wouldn't know because it's not my business. That's between you and spirit, right? Right? I have my terms and conditions. You got to be 18 or over to use this program. By using this program, you agree to everything already, right? I want you guys to see what this feels like, right? Because this will take the place of any of my courses. This will take the place of any classes other than, of course, in-person workshops when you all want to come to Arizona, right? But this is going to take the place of all of that. It's all in here. If you want to learn about E5, if you want to learn about what Odus are, if you want to learn about any of these spirits and it doesn't matter. You want to learn about Reiki? It's in there. You want to learn about chakras, meridians, energetic points? It's in there. It's all in there. Now, do you have to upgrade to unlock some of these deep features? Absolutely, you do, because that's by design. That's no different than the people that donate to the Cedar Light Unity Temple every month. Now, everybody could come and get the blog. Everybody could come and get the inspirational teaching. Everybody is free to check me out on YouTube. But do you know that the people that donate every month get special perks and privileges that many of you don't get, like free sessions from time to time, free art, from spiritual art from time to time, extras when they purchase things, they get extras, so What I'm saying is that when there's a membership, there are perks to membership that free users don't get. But a free user, as a free user, because I love you, you can come to my site every day. But understand something, that the free user tier is limited to your one card. And sometimes your one card, your one inspirational card for the day is all you need. But remember something, beloved, that just because it's free to you, it's not free to me. Okay. And it's not your place to have to pay for it. But if you appreciate the work that I do, if you appreciate the time and energy that I've taken over the last 20 years, some of you have been with me very long. Some of you have been with me for a few years. Some of you are just joining, just learning who I am. You haven't been around from the old Aphrodite Stone days. You're just coming into the Ningba days, and that's fine. Right? But if you appreciate everything that I do, and you know how in depth I go, and you know how much that I want for you all to have, learn, know, and become, then why wouldn't you? You could buy Starbucks for $7 a day. You mean to tell me for $9.99 a month, you can't support this program, and recognizing that none of that $9.99 a month comes to me, that it goes back into the program, because every time you type a question, it costs money. So I just give you something for your money. That's all. I'm not going to beg, because I'm still going to give you something just because I care. And I want you to be able to come and get some encouragement every day. True love don't cost a thing. But if you appreciate love, then you can show support. Can you not? And if nothing else, try it for a month. I even built into the program that if you want to end your membership, you can end your own membership. You ain't got to email me and tell me to cut it off. I built it right into the program. In my membership, you want to upgrade? Upgrade. There's no pressure. There's no obligation. But just go and see what you can learn. Go and see what you can find. Go and see how you can refine yourself when you can't talk to me, when you can't book the session with me, because I am making myself more and more unavailable now. You got to almost come to Arizona to see me if you want to come and get a cleansing, or if you want to come and get realigned, or you got to come here. Because where I am at this phase on my journey, remember that I am very grateful to be a part of many of you all's journey. Um I'm very grateful to be a part of many of you all's journey, but you all are also a part of my journey. And the marathon continues. Right? I am constantly growing. I am constantly evolving. I have to not be a dinosaur, right? I have had all of these ideas about automation and technology for so long, being an older woman, that I had to remember that there's nothing new under the sun. The technology has existed since the pyramids. Hold on now. What do you think that pyramid is? I said technology has existed since the pyramids. So for those of us that have a disdain towards technology, then we have a disdain for human evolution. I had to learn that, because I was like, this technology now. But once I learned that being on the complete back end, being a programmer, if I can program my technology to be ethical and benevolent, well, then that's it's not interacting with me physically. Let's be clear, but it's like interacting with my brain in the way that I think, and it's like interacting with my heart in a way that I feel. Because I feel you shouldn't be deceived. I feel you shouldn't be, pressured into believing one thing or another. I feel that you have the right to educate yourself and figure out where you want to go from there, without judgment, without people trying to tell you that you're crazy, you're wrong, or anything like that. That's just what I feel and I believe. All right. So, with all of that being said, family, with everything that we talked about today, about why friends, family, and lovers oftentimes become your enemies, I just want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for being here, spending more of your time with me. Thank you for your energy and your presence. And just like I promised, I said that I was going to give you something to take your mind off of all these jealous, hating, envious people. Now, if you will join me In a manifesting more money challenge. I'm gonna put you all's money where your mouth is. I'm gonna put you to the challenge. Listen, so many people, when we talk about manifestation, so many people are having difficulties, right, in life. People are feeling stagnant. People are feeling stuck. Just like the video that I did the other day. Stop praying like this because it's blocking you. Stop trying to manifest like this because it's not working, right? When we look at, just as I spoke about in the other video, why a lot of times people can't get healed is because there's an underlying belief that sickness is the state that they belong in. See, the reason why you're not manifesting more wealth and abundance or more finances is because there's a programming that your brain has been running on for years. Many of us probably picked up an impoverished programming from our family, just feeling like, oh, all we could do is get by, and that's okay. Long as we getting by. Nobody ever taught you to expect more. Everybody always told you, grow up, get a job, and work hard. That's the machine. That's the programming. Nobody ever told you how to tap into your consciousness to unlock the universe to rain down money on you. I am one with large sums of money. Money just flows to me, right? I want to challenge you all for the next 30 days. I started today. I want you to join me in a manifesting more money 30-day challenge. So for 30 days, this is what we're doing. Many of you probably ain't going to be able to do this, but I'm going to hope that you can. For the next 30 days, the first thing that I want you to do is watch the content that you are consuming. I want you to try to make sure, let's say that you consume 10 bits of content every day. Let's just say you watch 10 different videos a day. That's just because you like to scroll. Well, what I would like for you to do for the next 30 days is at least 7 to 8 of those 10 bits of content that you consume, let it be about manifesting wealth. Play money meditations, play solfeggio beats and rhythms and all of that stuff that will lift your frequency, to put you in a frequency, because in order to manifest money, you do have to be in a frequency to receive, right? So for the next 30 days, the first thing that I want you to do is let the majority of the content that you consume be about manifesting more wealth. Do that for 30 days, every day. At least watch 5 to 7 videos about manifesting money. Find a money playlist. I got a money playlist in my Apple Music. Money, 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 money. Do whatever you got to do. Some people got to have it, right? So do what you got to do. Money music, money videos, money mantras. Now, the next thing that I want you to do that's even going to be more powerful than that is every day for the next 30 days, I want you to get a piece of paper and I want you to get a pen or pencil and I want you to write 50 times in a row every day for 30 days. I am a millionaire. I am manifesting more wealth. I am a millionaire. I am manifesting more wealth. Very simple declaration and statement. I want you to write that every day 50 times for the next 30 days. Now, the third and final thing that I want you to do to join me on this 30-day journey is I want you to get a piece of paper. And on that piece of paper, I want you to write down the exact amount of money that you wish to manifest. Tell the universe ain't nothing too big. Somebody tell the universe in the chat, ain't nothing too big. Because that's how I know you believe it. Say it in the chat, y'all. Ain't nothing too big. All right. I want you to tell the universe the exact amount of money, or you can say it in the comments if you wind up catching the video after the live. You can say it in the comments. Ain't nothing too big. All right. I am a millionaire. I am manifesting more wealth. Write that every day for 50 times a day. 50 times a day, 50 times for 30 days. Okay. And here's what you do. If you can write it in green ink, blue ink, that's what I would prefer. Again, third and final thing I want you to do It's not going to be a third and final thing. I got one more thing after this. I want you to write on a piece of paper the exact amount of money. Tell the universe, tell your ancestors what you need. Write it on a piece of paper and sleep with that under your pillow for 30 days straight. I didn't say put no herbs on it. I didn't say put no spell on it. I didn't say write it down and light no candle on top of it. I said write the exact amount of money that you wish to manifest and sleep with that piece of paper under your pillow for 30 days straight. Now, the last and final thing that I want you to do, is every night for 30 days straight, every night for 30 days straight, before you go to rest, before you go to bed, I want you to take a glass of water and I want you to speak into that water. I want you to speak into that water, how abundant you are, how ready you are to receive all of the beautiful and wonderful things that you are going to do with that wealth once you get it, because you can't be selfish and think the universe going to pour down something on you. Okay? Speak into that water. Oh, I love you, abundance. I love you, wealth. I love you, money. I am ready to receive you. I have all these beautiful plans for you. I'm going to give to charities. I'm going to build a spiritual education center. I'm going to build a large community garden. I'm going to do all of these beautiful things to help all the people. Speak this into the water every night before you get ready to go to rest. Right? Because remember, when we get ready to go to rest, that's the time when our subconscious gets to work. Hello, somebody. Let me know if you're going to do this or not. Let me know if I have some companions on this journey or not. Okay. You're going to speak into this water. You're going to touch it to your third eye. You're going to give it some vision. You're going to touch it to your heart. You're going to give it some emotion, and then you're going to drink it down. You got to become that which you wish to manifest. You have to embody it. So you're going to speak all of these amazing things into that water. Water is the essence of life. Water flows throughout you already anyway. So why not charge that water? You're going to drink some manifesting more wealth, manifesting more money, charged water. I didn't say put anything in it, just water. Let water do its thing. Oftentimes, water is the only thing y'all need while y'all out here doing all this spells and stuff like that. Speak to your water. You already know about the scientific evidence that exists about, speaking positively into water and how cells change, how the crystals in the water change. Now, if you want to take that a step further, like say you want to like make you like a whole gallon of it. Say you want to make you like a whole gallon of it ahead of time. Go ahead and fill up your gallon. All right. Go ahead and fill up your gallon. Speak the positive things into the water. Then freeze it. Freeze it. Freeze it. Then let it thaw out and then drink it. Drink that every night. I want you to do this every night for 30 days. So what are we going to do? What are we going to do? We're going to make sure that the majority of the content that we consume every day for the next 30 days is going to be primarily about manifesting more wealth. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to write 50 times, I am a millionaire. I am manifesting more wealth. 50 times every day. Get you a little journal just for that if you have to. You're going to do that every day for 30 days. Then what you're going to do is you're going to write on a piece of paper the exact amount of money that you want to manifest, the exact amount of money that you need to tell the universe, that you need to tell the Most High Creator. You need to tell your ancestors, look, this is what I need. If you need a job, say, listen, I need a job by this date. I need a job by the end of this 30 days. All right. And then finally, you're going to drink water. Abundance charged water, charged with your affirmations of manifesting abundance, telling it how ready you are to receive it, all the beautiful things that you're going to do with it. And remember to include things that don't have anything to do with yourself, because you already know you're going to do things for yourself. But what are you going to tell the universe? How are you going to be a good steward of the money that's going to be coming to you? How are you going to be a good steward of that money? How are you going to have a giving spirit? Because giving is receiving, because it's an energetic cycle that continues to flow. Listen, if I said something right, I want y'all to let me know in the comments. I'm getting ready to get out of here, okay? If I said something right, let me know. Say it in the comments. You guys check out the Soul Guidance website. Uh, get into it. Get into how much you can learn. Get into it, how much you can learn about yourself. All right. And as always, you guys have been magnificent. Thank you once again. All right. Do something kind for yourself. Do something kind for someone else. All right. And until next time, I'll leave you all in the peace, love, and oneness of the infinite creator. Ta ta. I love all y'all. Peace.